Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of EdgeMasterGaming, where today I'm going to be talking to you guys about a topic that I don't think has ever been covered, well, at least on YouTube. Today it's all about perk combinations and the advantages that each of them would bring you while playing Project Lazarus. Now what I plan to do is present to you each of the different variations of perk combinations there are, more specifically the 4 perk combinations, as these are the ones most players are familiar with. But before we get started, if you're not familiar with the perks in this game and what they do, please check out the link on the screen at this time. It's my Lazarus Beginner's Guide, and trust me, it'll bless you with almost everything you need to know about this game. Also, if you happen to like this video and find it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and definitely consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. And lastly, the description box has links for my Discord, Twitch, and Twitter. Alright guys, let's get started. So what I've decided to do is start off with your standard perk combinations that are typically used in the game by 90% of the players out there. And the first of which, and what is probably the most popular one, is the one without quick revive, also known as double tap speed cola, juggernog, and mule kick. This is probably your most basic perk combination. Players usually go to this setup to take advantage of the mule kick with the hope that they can grab both wonder weapons, followed by a good tertiary like the AK or Dragunov. For team play, it is understood that even if they don't grab both wonder weapons, a ray gun followed by an AK-47, AK-12, just insert whatever your favorite gun is here, would still be considered a great loadout. Also, by having Juggernog, the player wants to make sure that they can withstand more hits from zombies, allowing them to last longer in the game. While you forfeit the quick revive, you still have a chance to revive your teammates, especially if you have both wonder weapons. It'll just take a little more work. This is, of course, due to the fact that it takes like double the time to revive anyone. Now for solo, this perk combination is also great because, of course, playing alone, you'll ensure that you can get the best loadout. And most of all, you're guaranteed to withstand more hits. Did I say this before? But of course, you'll need to be careful since you don't have quick revive, as you can't recover as quickly. Now me personally, had I had quick revive, I'm sure that I would have reached the 500 round milestone that I sought to achieve recently when I got the world record. Now another perk combination that is pretty popular is the one without mule kick. Okay, so because the player opted for quick revive instead of mule kick, they won't have the additional gun slot. Having both Jug and Quick Revive makes the player the strongest that they can be. They're able to withstand the additional hits before getting knocked, and they have a faster recovery time. They're able to also support other players better because they can revive them faster should a teammate go down, hence why this combination works very well for teams. For solo, I wouldn't recommend this perk combination. The reason why is there's a higher chance for you to run out of wonder weapon ammo for both weapons. If you notice on my world record runs, on insta-kills I only use my tertiary weapon. So what this means is two things. If you did decide to high round with this perk combination, you will have to train zombies more to get the most out of your ammunition, which in turn puts you in jeopardy because the more you train, the higher of a chance you'll get knocked. Or the second option is just to simply run the box again. Can you imagine having to give up your wonder weapon with the hopes that the game would turn around and give it back to you just because you need some ammo? I've seen times where players would use more than 200,000 in points and still not get Frostbite, including myself. Now I'm not going through that again because it took me so long to get in the first place. But let's move on. The third perk combination on the list, and probably the most riskiest, is the one without Juggernog. I'd consider this one high risk because you don't have the ability to take the extra damage even though you have quick revive for the recovery. If you ever get into a really bad situation where you're surrounded, you pretty much at that point have to be really skilled, lucky, or use the power of prayer, which, might I add, is great for everything in life. But getting back to the point, this combination makes you extremely vulnerable. I'd say it's adrenaline boosting, knowing that you're able to dish out the damage and save your teammates without Juggernog if you survive. Playing on teams, I'll run this perk combination to basically challenge myself or just to have fun. More pro players, I'd say, play with this combination than anything. In the video that you see before you, I ran the same perks and was able to perform 50 revives in one game. It was so scary but awesome at the same time. Now using these perks to play solo, at any point you know if you make one mistake you're pretty much doomed. There have been so many times where I got stuck in a situation and I thought I could maneuver past the zombie only to get knocked. It's so annoying. Either way, I reiterate that this perk combination is not for the average player unless you want to challenge yourself or something. The second to the last perk combination that I want to cover is the one without speed cola. For quite some time I couldn't understand why anyone would want to forfeit speed cola, as it helps you repair barricades and most of all it helps you reload weapons so much faster. But after some careful thought, I think I may know why this set of perks were used. I've never seen anyone run this combination while playing on teams. However, the only advantages that I can see is you get the loadout you want faster due to how fast you can accumulate points, you get faster red screen recovery, and you can revive players faster without too much fear of being knocked. Well, that is of course if you have any of your weapon magazines fully loaded, you should be fine. Now if anyone does decide to run this perk combination, I do not recommend playing with the 50 cal, any LMG with the exception of maybe the Scar Hammer. You should also stay away from launchers. Well, the nail gun is okay. And I'm sure there are other guns, but that's all I can think of for now. Now, I have seen this combination once when playing solo for getting high rounds. And that was in Eric's video where he got to round 99 I think some years ago. This was before the zombie cap per round that Logitech implemented. I think he played for about 15 hours in that game. But either way, the idea makes sense. You don't have to worry about reviving anyone and you can quickly recover if you ever get red screened. Simply put, you can definitely dish the damage out, and you can definitely take it. Overall, I can definitely understand why someone would run this perk combination. I personally just don't like it. For the last and what I would consider the more lesser known of the perk combinations is the one without double tap. Why on earth would anyone want to choose a perk combination that doesn't have double tap? It's just too good. Well, I'll tell you why. This perk combination works best when having both wonder weapons, and the reason why is because double tap, if you didn't know, doesn't have any effect on either the Frostbite or ray gun. While you need to of course use a good weapon to farm for points, once you get both wonder weapons, I'd say that you're pretty much set. On teams, you'll be able to protect your teammates provided you have a good loadout with either one or both wonder weapons. You're not hindered when reloading your weapon since you have speed cola. Taking hits won't be a problem as you can take damage and recover quickly. And finally, you can revive anyone without too much fear. Overall, I believe running this perk combination is the best setup for playing both teams and solo. That is of course if you have at least one wonder weapon. And you're probably wondering why I didn't run this setup when I was doing my last run. I have no answer for that at this time. However, I will say if I ever decide to take another stab at it, then I definitely will. So guys, I have a question. How would you rank these perk combinations from 1 to 5 where number 5 is the one that you like the least? For me, I would rank them in this order. At number 5 I would say is no speed cola. I just have to have that quicker reload. I've been traumatized one too many times doing challenges without it. And number 4 on my list is no mule kick. This is probably because I prefer to run solo. Number 3 is definitely no jug. As I mentioned, I love challenging myself, so I have to put this mid-tier. Number 2 is no quick revive. While this is standard, this can go pretty far. It's great for solo and team play. And number 1 of course is no double tap. While I never play with this combination of perks, I can definitely see a use case for running this setup. I think this one is really slept on. You guys should definitely try it out. I hope you guys have a better understanding of different perk combinations and how they can be beneficial to you. Thanks again for tuning in, and as always guys, remember to have fun, take care, and God bless.